A group of girls started a Fit It in Your Mouth challenge to gain more followers, but it quickly turned into a disaster. After one of them crammed a harmonica into her mouth, she couldn't get it out. Paramedic Tommy asked her how she was feeling, and her response was just a sound from the harmonica. Luckily, her friend understood what she meant.
She says it hurts like hell.
Tommy gently examined her.
She doesn't understand how she could get it in but not out.
Tommy explained that it's easier to push something in than to pull it out, especially since the tissue in her cheeks was swelling. Paramedic TK checked her vitals, oxygen levels and blood pressure were good, but her heart rate was at 120. Tommy suggested they head to the hospital for a full checkup. Suddenly, another harmonica sound came from the girl.
We don't have insurance. We can't afford an ambulance or a hospital stay.
Tommy asked a teammate to bring pliers and petroleum jelly. When she's all lubed up, Tommy was about to proceed, but the girl's friend decided to start a live stream, thinking it would be a waste not to share the moment. Tommy told her to go ahead, suggesting it could be a lesson for her followers about the dangers of these challenges. Under the astonished gaze of the crowd, the harmonica was finally removed, but the girl's cheeks still had the shape of the harmonica. The firefighters arrived at a burning building where a wedding was taking place outside. A man named David was shouting frantically, saying that his wife Rebecca was still inside. Ignoring his friend's attempts to hold him back, David dashed into the blazing building. The firefighters also entered to conduct the rescue and found David, who was desperately searching for Rebecca. The situation inside was dire, with thick smoke filling the area. Eventually, the firefighters located the room where the victims were trapped. They were all coughing uncontrollably due to smoke inhalation, with David in particularly bad shape.
David! David! I got him!
Casey reported to Bowden that they were cornered in a bedroom with the hallways completely engulfed in flames. To make matters worse, all the windows were secured with heavy bars. The firefighters quickly began prying off the bars. Suddenly, the room caught fire. The flames had reached Rebecca's wedding dress.
My dress!
It's okay.
The team managed to clear out one window, and the trapped victims were rescued one by one. Never mess with firefighters, or you'll get shot down like this. Just a moment ago, a 9-year-old girl named Lily called 911. 2 burglars had broken into her house, and she panicked and ran upstairs. However, since her family had just moved in, she didn't know the exact address, only told the dispatcher the house was Brown and a street name. There was a pink child's bike outside the door. This left the cop confused. The neighborhood was full of brown houses. To avoid alarming the burglars, Athena called in a fire truck. She told Buck to drive down the street with the siren on. Once they heard the siren over the phone, they'd be able to locate the girl faster. But just then, Lily quietly came downstairs. She tried to sneak away, but one of the burglars spotted her. Luckily, she ran quickly and barely managed to hide under a table. At that moment, the fire truck passed right in front of the house. Everyone clearly heard the siren on the call. Buck noticed the bike at the door, but just then, Lily's mother Emma came home. Not wanting to alert the burglars, Buck quickly pulled her away. Meanwhile, Athena entered through the back door, but then Lily ran out again. They locked Lily in a closet and began packing up to escape. Just as they opened the door, Athena was already waiting for them. One man shoved his partner aside, and in a mad rush, he ran back into the house, taking Lily hostage. Lily fiercely bit him, forcing him to release her. He jumped on his motorbike, ready to escape, but was blocked by the arriving police car. Forced to turn around, the man prepared to open fire. Athena urged Emma and Lily to hide behind the fire engine. The man tried to shoot at Athena, who was ready to strike, but the scene abruptly ended when Buck fired a jet of water, knocking the man off his bike. Firefighters arrived at a football training field where a man frantically called for help, explaining that the boys had been running stair drills when the staircase suddenly collapsed. His son Mitchell had fallen 30 feet and was seriously injured. Casey and Kelly quickly entered the collapsed area and discovered a boy pinned beneath a heavy bleacher, struggling to breathe. They tried lifting the stair board, but the muddy ground prevented them from getting enough leverage. Thinking quickly, Kelly grabbed some wooden boards to use as a brace. With this support, the boy's breathing improved as they worked to lift the stair board off him. Debris almost fell on Kelly, signaling that the entire structure was on the verge of collapse. Knowing time was running out, the 2 firefighters made one last coordinated effort and successfully freed the boy. A girl named Jessie was being tightly strangled by one of her pythons, and she was on the verge of not being able to breathe. At that moment, the firefighters arrived at the scene, but they were shocked by what they saw. Jessie's house was filled with pet snakes everywhere. The firefighters couldn't help but shudder at the sight. It was then that the captain spotted Jessie barely conscious and rushed to try to pry the snake off her. However, the python over 10 feet long and thicker than an arm made Bobby's attempts useless. Buck wanted to punch the snake, but Bobby rejected the idea as it wouldn't paralyze the snake. Hen suggested using an anesthetic to sedate the python immediately, but Bobby didn't think there was enough time for it to take effect. By now, Jessie's face was turning blue and her lips were black. It seemed like she couldn't hold on much longer. At that moment, Buck decided they had to act immediately and killed the snake with a fire axe. Much to the disgust of Hen and Chimney, the python's body instantly went limp and Jessie was successfully rescued.
Yeah, well, it was him or you in a faced with a situation like that. I always choose to save the more attractive one.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
We received a call about a gas leak?
No, that wasn't us. Guys, really, I appreciate all your concern, but we don't have a gas leak. Okay, Marcus, buddy.
You have a kid that doesn't hear and you haven't learned sign language?
He's my new stepson. I'm trying to learn, I swear.
Have you called the police?
He locked me in the closet for 11 hours that night.
The kid called us for help. We need to find a way to help him. Okay.
Did Ted see me?
No, I don't think so.
To come to my home and start this crap.
You're hurting him.
I'm not hurting him. I'm checking for burn marks. You weren't inside, maybe starting a little bit of a fire? I would like to hear what you just said.
I ought to keep him out for a week or two.
Keep who out?
That jerk's wife and kid.
Hey, Gabby, can you look into the light for me? There. See the golden color around her pupils? Those are called Kaiser-Fleischer rings.
What is that?
It's a hereditary disorder. Right now, we're gonna start Gabby on plasmapheresis to remove the copper from her blood. But ultimately, she will need a liver transplant. John's blood type is AB, Gabby's type O.
He can't be her biological father. No, it's not what you think. Gabby's adopted.
Huh. I know it's a stretch, but if we could locate any of Gabby's blood relatives...
That's not possible. Her biological parents were deceased, and she had no other known relatives.
Hey, got your page.
Just heard back, we can't get Gabby's adoption records.
Why not?
Because they don't exist.
Gabby was a baby. She wasn't even a year old, and she'd leave her out in the hallway.
Who would leave her?
That woman, the mother, she was inside getting high. She was strung out on who knows what.
Wait, you kidnapped her?
No, we had to save her.
Mr. and Mrs. Phillips, gonna need you to come with me.
We're so sorry, baby.
Hey, hi, I'm stuck in the garbage disposal. Good news is my hand was only in there for a second before I turned it off. Yeah, really hurts. I talk a lot when I'm nervous.
You talk a lot all the time.
I'm Travis. First things first, I'm gonna unplug.
Then I'm gonna disassemble it from underneath.
I was washing the dishes and the disposal was on and I knocked my wedding ring down there. It's just instinct, I grabbed for it. I can't believe how dumb it was.
I can.
Okay, what is that? There's something in here. I think it might be her.
Carrot!
Not a finger.
Mom, since there are a bunch of firefighters here doing stuff, I'm gonna go out.
What is that on your arm?
It says Billy in italics.
You realize that's gonna live on you forever. Why not pick something you're interested in?
I'm interested in Billy.
And I would happily take you to a tattoo parlor that's not funny!
It was kind of funny.
Could I ask one of you to go make sure that my daughter's cry for help isn't infected?